Man, I gotta say it. It is great seeing a Star Wars piece of content that is being well received across a huge majority of the Star Wars community. It's a nice little break from the drama of Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, Han Solo. It's a good feeling, let me tell you. Today, what I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is The Mandalorian and how it's going to relate to Star Wars Galaxy. When is it going to come? Is there a possibility it's coming? And what would I like to see come to Galaxy Heroes? Because I have to admit, I think right now The Mandalorian's probably my favorite piece of Star Wars content in this new generation of Star Wars stuff going on right now. And man, it's so good. And I think Capital Games is missing the ball on a lot of potential to capitalize on the game success and the movies or the TV show success. And before we proceed further into the video, if you're someone that hasn't seen the show, you don't want character names to be spoiled, we're not going to talk too much about plot, but if you think character names are spoilers, you may want to come back to this video later on when you caught up. But for all of you guys, let's get into this video. And I want to start off with what was my inspiration to making this video. It came down to this tweet right here. I put out a tweet the other day on Twitter, and because I was just really excited. I was like, okay, I got some cool ideas if the Mandalorian ever became a character into the game. They have so much great dialogue in the TV show already that you can create so many things. This is just a quick example I did off the cuff. Your basic is the ambient phase pulse blaster, the gun that disintegrates characters. I mean, he has a blaster pistol as well, and he has a knife. He's got all these weapons. Maybe he can have a kit where he just cycles through all of his weapon, and maybe the phase blaster should be more of a special because it's more of a slow reloading type of weapon than you have anyone else. Shooting our way out, that scene with IG-11 and the Mandalorian was pretty awesome. Leader ability could be called hot or cold. I think that would be an awesome leader for a bounty hunter team potentially. I like those odds, and weapons are a part of my religion. I mean, that was just me as a casual. I'm not a game designer by any stretch of the imagination, although maybe I could be. There's just a lot of potential that you could do with the Mandalorian. And so let's kind of take this inspiration, kind of start answering some questions. What is the possibility? Is there a possibility that the Mandalorian could be added to Galaxy of Heroes? And I think the news is kind of good. If you remember, I kind of broke this down in our Q&A session. We did, or not our, but the developers did a Q&A session for Galaxy Heroes at the beginning of November. And they asked, someone asked the question, are we going to see the Mandalorian show be added to Galaxy of Heroes? Top Hat said not at the moment, potentially next year. No promises. And there was another comment saying by Viking, I am so excited about the show. I want to share so much with you all of the ideas and potential I see here, but I can't. All I can say is that I want to really dig into this content. Don't let CG Top Hat fool you. The guy we just read a second ago, it's going to rock. That said, I have to say there are no promises because, of course, plans always change. So if you're expecting Mandalorian content right now, don't expect it. They're focusing on Rise of Skywalker content. We're wrapping up Clone Wars content. My guess is that we're going to come back to Clone Wars content maybe around February if I had to maybe guess. And I mean, to give you some hope, let's hop over to the game for a second. I mean, I'm looking at my bounty hunter faction right now. I could definitely see a nice little Mandalorian be tucked in there somewhere. But to give you guys some hope, let's take, for example, the Phoenix crew. The Phoenix and Thrawn, they were not added into the game until about 1 or 2 seasons after they were released. So there is plenty of hope. I think for TV shows like the Phoenix and the Clone Wars and like that Resistance TV show that really flopped, it's probably a smart idea for Capital Games to sit back, see how the content is going to be taken by the community, and if it's successful, the TV shows are successful, then Capital Games can capitalize on top of that content and bring it in the Galaxy. They released the Phoenix, I think, at the perfect time because the first season of the Rebels wasn't anything too special. Once Thrawn got integrated, then the show really started to take off at that point, and then they brought those characters into the game. So although we're not going to see Mandalorian for probably a good year or so, I just want to give you the hope that it definitely could happen. I think they know at this point that the TV show so far, we're only 2 episodes in, soon to be 3 later on this week, that the TV show is being very successful. So I don't think that's going to be a problem, assuming that it kind of keeps going down the trajectory that we're hoping it does. I don't know exactly if there's going to be a second season of The Mandalorian, but if there is, Capital Games has to get on that train. It's unfortunate right now they're not doing so because, man, that would be a huge bump for this game. People are hyped about The Mandalorian. Maybe they can try to plug in a Galaxy of Heroes ad saying, hey, you can't play as The Mandalorian anywhere else in the world right now, but you can play it in Galaxy Heroes. Click on the link to download, blah, 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 blah. That would bring a lot of people in here because I think The Mandalorian's become way more well-received than any of the other more recent Star Wars stuff going on right now. Fingers crossed. I think it's going to happen, but I don't expect it happening anytime in the next 8 to 10 10 months or something like that. All right, so we talked about the potential of the Mandalorian. What characters would we want to bring into this? And I already kind of showed you my fan kit design for the Mandalorian a couple minutes ago, but let's kind of highlight a little bit more about what could come. I mean, honestly, there's 10 characters they could easily add, maybe even more than that. Obviously, the very first thing we have to talk about is the Mandalorian himself. I kind of gave a random kit the design that I did a few moments ago, but I think the problem is right now we don't quite know just enough about the Mandalorian yet. We know he's great with weapons. We know that he's a bounty hunter. We know that he's a Mandalorian. Those are kind of very obvious things. What we don't know is this guy a light side based character, dark side based character? Is he just a neutral character? We kind of see, I kind of feel it right now. Again, if you made it this far and you don't want spoilers, you might want to back out for a little bit. But as we see right now with this baby Yoda, I get this feeling that this guy's kind of, he doesn't know what's going on. He kind of feels conflicted. He doesn't seem like a complete jerk. He seems like he kind of cares about the child, and he has these flashbacks a little bit when he goes back to his childhood. So maybe he's kind of relating to his baby Yoda. I don't know. Obviously, I think we're going to kind of follow his journey and see, does he actually follow through with this bounty that he took on? And to give some other ideas, I know Jawas and I, we've had some rough times this year. I lost a lot of Grand Arenas trying to test them out, but here's a fun idea. I would not be mad if they rework the Jawas. There's a lot of Jawa action going on in this TV show, which I actually I find kind of funny, especially the roast that the Jawas gave to the Mandalorian, saying that you sound like a Wookiee when he was trying to speak Jawese or whatever it's called. I would love actually seeing a Jawa rework, kind of like an Ewok style rework perhaps, and then you would require Jawas to unlock the Mandalorian. I'd be perfectly fine with it. It's thematic, it's funny, it's cheeky, and then, make it a useless faction more useful. I would be more than happy to see something like that. And plus, all these characters are free to play, which is a fantastic thing. So legendary Mandalorian event maybe next year sometimes. We'll have to see. I think that's definitely an idea that they could put out there. I hope it's not going to be a marquee character, because I think the Mandalorian is definitely deserving of a legendary style event at the minimum. The next character I want to talk about here is this IG-11 unit. Now, this isn't IG-88, it's just an IG unit. The scene when the Mandalorian and the IG-11 kind of team up together, wow, that was pretty epic. That's where the whole we're going to shoot our way out quote comes from. I don't know if this guy's going to be in the TV show any further. None of us do at this point. We know that Mandalorian, he ended up terminating the droid, so it didn't execute the baby Yoda. Again, I don't know if that's a moral thing or because he wanted to bring in Yoda, baby Yoda alive. Maybe there's more of a bounty for it. I feel like that was more of a he doesn't want to be killing children type of thing, which I guess is kind of a good thing. Bounty hunter synergy, droid synergy. Maybe they can add a guild tag, because as you know, they're both from the guild as they talk about. So maybe they can add a guild tag to kind of bring some other type of synergy and theory crafting potential in Galaxy of Heroes. But there's a lot of cool stuff you can have. His body rotate around. I mean, it's very much like it's going to be a reskin of IG-88 for the most part, but at least thematically, you can definitely start creating a Mandalorian type of bounty hunter team. And of course, since the Mandalorian's a bounty hunter, we know that at the minimum, he'd also kind of have his own contract, kind of like the rest of the bounty hunters in the game. You have a leadership and you got a contract and a payout. It'd be really cool to see what they can come up with there. Maybe you guys got some fun ideas. Now, it's funny, right now in Galaxy Heroes, Ugnaught is a laughable character. He really isn't all that useful. He's more of a meme for the game at this point. He's got some weird anti-droid stuff going on. Who knows? Maybe it's kind of helpful for some random, maybe it'd be helpful for light side turret spells. I don't know. But what they could do is maybe just take this character right here and convert it into this guy right over here, the I have spoken dude. His name is Quill, or Quill, I can't remember the pronunciation. It's Kuill, and he's obviously a guy that just wants to have his lands be peaceful. He was happy to help out the Mandalorian, kind of take out even it was kind of a beneficial situation, a mutual situation. The Mandalorian got its bounty, and at the same time, with this guy helping out the Mandalorian, he was able to purge kind of the corruption that was going on in his area that he was living in. So I don't know if we're going to see him again. It's unfortunate he didn't take on a crew role with the Mandalorian. Would have been kind of cool, but maybe we'll see this guy again at some point. We don't know just yet. I mean, seriously, there are a lot of other characters that they could be adding. Grieve Karga, that's the guy that kind of gets the assignments and hands them out to people. We have the client. We know really nothing about this dude except that he appears to be loyal to the Empire. So we see he's got the Imperial medallion around his neck. He also has some bodyguards on it. I would love to kind of see more of like a rough looking stormtrooper be added, because remember, this takes place at the end of the Galactic Civil War basically, so there's this weird transition period going on, so we don't know quite exactly what this guy is up to and why they want the baby Yoda, especially this guy, the scientist, Dr. Pershing, a little too skittish, and I don't know if they'd add someone like that to the game. But again, I don't know if they're working for the Imperials. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We still have not yet seen that character. Apparently this is going to be the main antagonist in the game. I believe he plays Gustavo in Breaking Bad, the Los Pollos Hermanos dude. we haven't learned about this Twilight. There are so many things. I believe she actually played in Game of Thrones. She was kind of the guy, the girl that was helping out Bran kind of survive a little bit throughout the part of the TV show. So there's a lot of stuff. I would also love to see a baby Yoda. My goodness, the baby Yodas are cute, man. I really want to see baby Yoda be added as some sort of passive character, kind of like Hermit Yoda. I don't care if it's a young version of Yoda. I just want it to happen. Obviously, this guy's got some force sensitive powers. That gives us a little bit of a hint, maybe why this is such a valuable target for that the Imperial looking guy, if he is an Imperial. We don't quite know. I don't have anything on my database in regards to that guy. Heart was just melting during all these scenes with baby Yoda. He's just trying to touch him. He just wanted to feel the love, baby. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is so much potential going on in Galaxy of Heroes and a Mandalorian crossover. The beauty thing about Galaxy of Heroes is that they're able to take content literally from any type of era and throw it in their game. That's something that Battlefront 2 hasn't really been able to do. In other Star Wars games out there, Galaxy of Heroes is the storytelling gaming experience for Star Wars that no other game can offer at this point. And that is one thing I do love about this game, is that we can have fun, talk about ideas like this, and hope they get added one day. And I think the likelihood, at least the Mandalorian coming, whether it's marquee character or legendary, is probably going to be high. So long as the success still keeps going strong, I bet we'd see something next year. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment down below, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I would love to hear what you guys have in mind. And if you guys have been enjoying the TV show as much as I have, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.